This is a video for help on Chapter 7 out of the student workbook, the application exercises. Number 1. The problem says to use the RBRVS for the previous year and the current year. Obtain the necessary data from your Federal Register, from the CMS website, the Physician Fee Schedule lookup, to calculate Medicare reimbursement payments under the RBRVS method. Calculate the reimbursements under the RBRVS method for the previous year and the current year for the following CPT codes. They give you A, B, and C, 3 different CPT codes here to use. And then there's a paragraph underneath it that says, are there any unique data? Talking about the budget neutrality adjustment factor in 2007 that's obtained. What factor had the greatest impact on reimbursement for each procedure? If profit were the physician's only motive, which site would procedure 68815 be performed? What factors other than reimbursement do physicians consider when they select a site of the procedure? That gets a little deep, I get it, and I need to make this video to give you a little bit of direction. Here's what I would do. I agree that it's a little deep, and I'm going to change it just a little bit. I went to the fee schedule lookup, okay? And honestly, I could start from scratch. I just put in RBRVS CMS, and then I found the physician fee schedule lookup tool, and I accepted the CPT note that always comes up, and I get to this screen that you can see here. I have these 3 codes, okay? And I also have my textbook open for reimbursement class, and I'm looking at page 152 and 153, actually starting at page 150, where they start talking about how we calculate these payments. Medicare doesn't just say, oh, we're going to pay you this and just kind of pull it off the hat. This is how they decide how we get paid. And yes, I'm sitting in Iowa. We in Iowa get paid differently than what Massachusetts does, or Maine, or Idaho, or California, or any other state or geographic location. So they have a lot of things that go into this. And of course, we talk about the practice expense, the malpractice liability cost, and then just the work, okay, the physician's work. So I want to go to relative value units, the RVUs, okay, that's what it was talked about here in this assignment. And I'm going to do a listing of HCPCS codes or CPT codes. And I'm going to put these in. I'm going to put in 31239. The next one is 68720. And then the third one is 68815. So I would put these in, and I can say all modifiers and click submit. What I get here on this screen is a lot to read. Okay, and this little helpful PDF is really, good for you too. But when I look at this, okay, it tells me the work RVU, non-facility practice expense RVU, okay. You can skip this column, the transitioned non-facility practice expense, fully implemented and non-fully implemented facility, a transitional facility practice expense RVU. It just keeps going all the way. Here we get finally to malpractice, okay, the MP RVU as well. What I want you to use is, let's see, the work RVU right here. I kind of wrote this column down on a piece of paper, and I wrote we have 9.04, 9.96, and 2.70, okay, for each one of these codes. This is the work RVU, okay? Now, when I look at my textbook, and I look at the calculations on how to figure all of this out, okay, and how to calculate it, I need to know what the work is for Iowa, okay, or for whatever location you're in. Just state your location. So I wrote down the work. If I go back to my search criteria and say, now I want to do for Iowa, the GPCI or the geographic, I'm going to say the specific locality, and I'm going to find Iowa here and say submit. Now, for my locality, my GPCI for the work is 1.00. Okay? That 1.00 goes along with the work RVU that we took off the first table. The practice expense goes along with the practice expense from the first table. The malpractice or liability cost goes along with the malpractice or liability cost from the first table when we actually had the codes. So you're going to have to take some data from searching by code, okay, like we did first, and write it down. And then you're going to have to get the locality data and then write it down. And then you're going to have to do some math. You're going to have to find the conversion factor for last year and find the conversion factor. You know, you can change the years. See the years 2017 and 2018. So you can change the years and do your math. The formula, okay, I'm not going to help you with everything, but the formula is here, okay, in this chapter for you. Like I said, it starts on how to calculate on page 150, okay, in your textbooks. So if I go back to application exercise 1, knowing what you know now and what I've showed you, I do want you to do the previous year, so that would be 2017, okay, and the current year is 2018. So I do want you to do the previous year, and I want you to do the current year for right now, okay, at the date of this video. I want you to find those 3 CPT codes like we did earlier. Are there any unique data like the budget neutrality adjuster in 2007 that must be obtained? I'm just going to draw a line through that question. You don't need to do anything with that. What factor had the greatest impact on reimbursement for each procedure? So between work, practice expense, and the malpractice liability, you can answer that. Okay, between those 3 factors. If profit were the only physician's motive, in which site would the procedure 68815 be performed? You can find that too by looking at that code and looking through at the weights, the RVUs, okay? The bigger the RVU is the more, payment. What factors other than reimbursement do physicians consider when they select the site of a procedure? You could take a shot at that. You don't have to sit and think for an hour on it before you come up with your answer, but you can take a shot at that too. So what your answers are going to be for number 1, you are going to have a reimbursement. You're going to calculate the reimbursement for 31239 for 2017 and 2018. You're going to come up with an amount for 68720 for 2017 and 2018. And the same for C, that last CPT code 68815. You're going to find a reimbursement for 2017 and then 2018. And I guess since I crossed off that first question, I would write in one just last question. What do you see when you finally get done with all that calculation? What do you see? What kind of trend are you looking at if you're looking at the previous year and this year? Okay, so I want you to come up with, is there a trend and kind of a bit of a summary. Okay, I'm not looking for anything crazy here. In the real world, we don't ever have to do that math. We don't have to do all them calculations. But it is important to know the history of Medicare and how they figure out their pricings. And that's what this is. Okay, so we do know there is kind of a method to their madness. So hopefully that can help you with the number 1 application exercise for Chapter 7. If you have any questions, you can email me. Or remember, you can always use the discussion board because there might be someone else out there before I get out there that can help you with the question as well too. Okay, thanks. I hope this helps.